Have you ever had a fantastic day, everything went smoothly, but then you read one mean comment online, or you receive a critical email from your boss, and suddenly the entire day crumbles. It feels like all the joy has evaporated, leaving only the heavy weight of that criticism. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. And more importantly, you are not broken. You are experiencing a powerful psychological phenomenon, an ancient piece of code embedded deep within your brain's hardware, known as the negativity bias. This bias once kept our ancestors alive, but in the modern world, it distorts our reality and exhausts us. In this video, we'll dissect how it works, explore a concept we call the Velcro Brain to explain why it's so sticky, and most importantly, we'll provide you with a neuroscience-based blueprint to loosen its grip and pay attention to a specific mathematical ratio that explains why negativity is so powerful. Understanding it is the key to hacking your happiness. Welcome to Psych Blueprint. Most of us live within an old paradigm. We believe that pessimism is realism. If I feel anxious, it means there is something to be anxious about. But the new paradigm is this: your brain was not designed to make you happy. It was designed to keep you alive. And to do that, it operates as an incredibly sensitive alarm system. The problem is, this system is outdated. Dr. Rick Hansen coined a brilliant metaphor. The brain is like Velcro for negative experiences, and Teflon for positive ones. When something negative happens, your brain immediately grabs onto it. It sticks. Conversely, when something positive happens, it's like sliding on Teflon. It glides through and disappears. This creates a profound imbalance. We are systematically collecting negative evidence and discarding positive evidence. This leads to a crucial question. Why did the brain evolve in this seemingly cruel way? In the first place, the answer lies in the life or death difference between missing a berry and missing a tiger. The origins of the negativity bias trace back to the survival environment of our ancestors. Imagine you are a prehistoric human. Consider two scenarios. Scenario 1, you see a bush that might have berries. If you miss it, you're a little hungry, but you live. Scenario 2, you hear a rustle in the bushes that might be a tiger. If you miss it and assume it's just the wind, you die. Natural selection favored brains that were hypersensitive to threats. We are the descendants of the most anxious people. This is what we call the evolutionary mismatch. We no longer live on the savannah, but our brains still react to work emails as if they are life or death threats. At the center of this response is the amygdala, the brain's threat detection center. The amygdala operates faster than the rational cortex. When you receive criticism, it activates the fight or flight response instantly, releasing cortisol and hijacking your attention. Another key mechanism is rumination. This is where the Velcro brain really kicks in. We tend to replay negative events over and over, strengthening the neural pathways associated with that memory. Recognizing this bias is the first step. But how do we actually restructure the neural pathways? I'm going to share the 15-second technique neuroscientists use to change the structure of the brain. We need to clarify, we are not talking about toxic positivity. The goal is not to eliminate negative thoughts. The goal is to achieve accuracy. We want to recalibrate our alarm system so it only goes off when there is a real threat. Another skepticism, but the world is a bad place. Look at the news. The media exploits our negativity bias to capture attention. If it bleeds, it leads. This creates a feedback loop, reinforcing our belief that the world is falling apart, often ignoring the progress happening simultaneously. The impact of the negativity bias is immense. Let's talk about relationships. This is where we return to the mathematical ratio. Dr. John Gottman found that for a relationship to be successful, the ratio of positive to negative interactions needs to be at least 5:1. That means you need 5 positive interactions to balance the impact of just one negative interaction. Negativity weighs 5 times more. In the workplace, it leads to fear of failure. Consider Alex and Ben. Both receive their performance reviews, 9 positive feedbacks, and 1 area for improvement. Alex, unaware of the bias, immediately fixates on the negative point. His Velcro brain latches onto it. He feels demoralized. Ben, aware of the bias, acknowledges the area for improvement, but then actively takes time to absorb the 9 positive feedbacks. He feels motivated. Same input data to completely different outcomes, clearly. Managing the negativity bias is critical. So, how do we begin? The good news is that our brains are neuroplastic. Here is the 4-step blueprint for rewiring your Velcro brain. Step 1. Name it to tame it. The awareness audit. The first step is awareness. When you find yourself ruminating on something negative, pause and say to yourself, "This is my Velcro brain operating." Labeling the experience shifts activity from the amygdala to the prefrontal cortex, helping you create psychological distance. Step 2. Savoring the good, watering the positive. This is the most crucial step. We must actively turn fleeting positive states into lasting neural traits. This is where the 15-second savor comes into play. Dr. Rick Hansen calls this taking in the good when something positive happens. Follow these 3 steps. Notice, don't let it slide by. Enrich. Hold your attention on it for at least 15 to 20 seconds. Feel it in your body. Absorb. Imagine that this experience is sinking deep into your mind. 15 to 20 seconds is the approximate time required to transfer a memory from short-term to long-term storage. You are helping the positive experience stick to the brain. Step 3. Apply the magic ratio. Remember the 5-to-1 ratio. This applies to relationships and your internal dialogue. Make a conscious effort to generate more positive interactions. Actively counter every self-critical thought by acknowledging your strengths. Step 4. Curate your information diet. You need to take control of your information diet. Set specific time limits for news consumption and social media. Actively seek out stories of progress and solutions. This journey is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong practice. Remember, you are not broken for feeling this way. You are fighting against a powerful biological blueprint. But now you have the knowledge. You understand the Velcro brain. And most importantly, you have the tools to fight back. By practicing the 15-second savor, you are changing the physical structure of your brain. You are building new neural pathways that help you see the world in a more balanced and accurate way. The final message is this: you have the power to rewire your mind. 1 thought at a time, 15 seconds at a time. Now, I want to hear from you. What is your experience with the negativity bias? Do you notice the 5-to-1 ratio in your relationships? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to Psych Blueprint for more science-based blueprints on how to master your mind. Thank you for watching.